Okay, take two. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on with my camera, but let's get this going again. It is a couple minutes after 8, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kick this off as we get people come in. As you join, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're there. Give me a heart. I don't care what you give me, angry face. Let me know that you are watching. I left a comment. Oh, my earring's messing up. I left a post and asked everybody to comment. We have like over 100 people in this group, and I only had 14 comments. I did pull that up because I was going to go over that and read that with y'all, a couple of them, so that I can kind of address that. But I was actually pretty shocked that there were only 14 responses to my post. It was just kind of odd for me to see. You know, we have over 100 people in the group, and only a few people actually participated to give me some input for this training. So I guess everybody is just never disappointed, and I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird because I think we're all disappointed at some point. Something happens all the time for each of us. So as people come in, please give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me an angry face. I don't care. Just let me know that there's some motion there. Give me some love. Let me know that you can see me, that you can hear me okay. And then we're going to go straight into it. I'm going to give y'all about 30 more seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Those who know me know I cannot stand my hair on my face, so don't be surprised if I pull it up in the middle. I don't care. It'll get irritated for me. So we are going to talk about warm market. We're going to talk about approaching your warm market, reapproaching your warm market, and how to deal with the disappointment that you get from working with warm market. Those of you that don't know what warm market is, that is going to be your friends and family. Warm market is typically going to be the first place that indirect sales you start. They always tell you, make your list of 100. You're going to start in your warm market. You're going to approach these people that you see on a daily basis. You know, you're going to go to your family, you're going to go to your friends, you're going to go to the mailman, to the hairdresser. And so they give you this list of people. They tell you, make this list, you're 100. As y'all jump in, please give me a thumbs up, a heart, angry face, I don't care, laugh. Let me know that y'all are there. Let me know that somebody is watching. This will be interactive, so if you're leaving comments, I'm going to try to read them as I go. So anyways, you're going to get disappointed at some point. So I want to talk about that. I want to go over some of that. So one of the biggest things about warm market is, you know, you are approaching your friends and family, or you're reapproaching your friends and family. How many of y'all have done direct sales more than one time? If you've done direct sales more than one time, maybe you've been in a couple companies, give me a heart. If this is your first time to ever do any type of direct sales, give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're out there. Doing direct sales for the first time is very different than when you have done this before. Your approach is going to be different for your warm market. So when you are approaching a warm market, typically you're wanting them to look at the products, you're wanting them to look at the opportunity, you're wanting to share with them, but you don't know. Y'all, are y'all seeing me okay? Because I can't even see if anybody's on there. Give me a comment, somebody. Let me know that you can see what's going on. I'm not seeing any action. Anybody? We'll just pretend like this is rocking and rolling then, because I don't know if it is or not. When you're approaching your warm market, you need to be authentic. You really have to be true to yourself. You've got to approach them in a way that you are being genuine, you are being yourself. I see you and I'm commenting. Okay, thank you, Alicia, for texting. I don't see anything that y'all are saying, so it's going to be one of those nights, y'all. I will look on my iPad here in a second, so I'll try to catch up. So when you're approaching your warm market, you've got to be genuine and you've got to be sincere. Here's the thing. Swipe left. Okay, I'm gonna do what you tell me to do. It says video only mode. Oh, there it says swipe left again. Swipe left to reveal. Nope, it's not working. It's not working. Okay, I give up. Okay, so don't worry about it, Alicia. I'll just go from here. When you are dealing with the warm market, though, I watched this video today, and I'd seen it before, so I went and I like purposely looked for this video. And it is by Matt Morris, which he's amazing at direct sales and network marketing and things. But in his video, he talks about approaching a warm market, and he talks about like making a phone call. See, I'm already pulling my hair up. I can't stand my hair on my face. Talks about making a phone call to someone he went to high school with. And he just like calls him up and says, hey, you know, this is Matt Morris. I went to high school with you. And the guy's like, you know, give him a second to realize who he's talking to. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, I, you know, started this opportunity and I want you to look at it. I mean, he went straight into it. The guy hadn't seen him in 15 years. And according to Matt Morris, he says you should not have any type of relationship, that you shouldn't be going for the relationship. You should just go for the opportunity. Just talk to him right away. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that you shouldn't have a relationship in this business. If you want to succeed, you have got to be selective about who you want in your group, in your network, in your tribe, however you want to say it. You've got to be selective. And in doing that, you also have to be sure that whenever you are being selective, that you're not just approaching someone about the opportunity, because they probably don't want the opportunity. And I think that's where we go wrong. I have been in a company that it's all about numbers. Recruits are important. And so you get into, oh, I need, you know, so many customers this month. I need so many promoters this month. I need so many directors, whatever, you know, consultants, or however the terminology is, but you need so many X, Y, and Z because you're going to come up on a promotion, or you're going to come up on a trip, or you're going to win something, you know, and so you're like constantly recruiting, constantly building. And so then your authenticity kind of gets lost. You're not approaching your family the way you should be anymore. You're not approaching your warm market, your friends, the way you would have in the past, where you would have approached your friend and been like, hey, you know, I've got this going on. Now you're not doing that because you're at a race against time. So when you approach your warm market, you have to approach them in a way that you act like you don't care. Like, really, you cannot care. You have to approach them in a way that it's not going to hurt your feelings. You can't take it personal. So if you are going to approach your warm market, you're going to approach your brother, sister, you're going to approach your best friend, you're going to approach somebody, you need to make sure that you don't care. You don't care whether they're going to say yes or no. You don't care whether or not they join you. You don't care whether or not they purchase from you. If you care, don't approach them. Go with the cold market. Just don't even bother with the warm market, because especially women, those that are women out there, you can hear me on this. We are a little bit more emotional. We take things a little more personal, and we may get our feelings hurt when they tell us no. So the first thing about approaching the warm market and really getting out there with the warm market is knowing that you can't care. You can't care if they tell you no. That also is how you're going to keep your posture. You're going to keep yourself in a situation that you know your business, you love your business, you love what you do, and you know what you have. I mean, CEO of one of the companies I'm with always talks about how you need to know what you have, and you need to be presenting that. Like, you need to be confident, which is true. You need to be confident. You need to know what you have and know that it's the best. Know that it's superior, that it's premium, that it's exclusive, whatever the wording you want to use. You have to hold that posture. So who cares if you tell me no, that you don't want to join me, because I know what I got. That's the kind of attitude you have to have. So when you're approaching a warm market, you have to have that attitude of, you know, I don't care if you don't join me, I'm still going to do this. A prime example is, I'll use myself. I'm going to use myself throughout this training, and you'll get to know me a lot better, but I don't have warm market on my side. Some friends, yes, but family-wise, no. So, you know, I've been laughed at, I've been made fun of, I've had a lot of negative comments, I've had a lot of negativity that has just rolled up in my life since I started direct sales, and more so in the last couple years as I was being successful with direct sales. So it's not just that I was in direct sales, but as I was being successful and climbing the ranks and getting to the top, that's when all of a sudden I got even more slack. So I would approach someone, and it did matter. It did matter to me if they told me no. And so I did get my feelings hurt. But I always approached it with that posture of, I know what I have, and if you don't want it, that's fine. If you don't want the car because you can afford it, that's okay. You don't want to go on these trips, that's okay. I do. I like that I have my Cadillac paid for. I like that they give me extra and that I can pocket the rest. I like that I can go on these trips. I like that I have this extra cash. I like that I want to retire my husband. So if you don't want that, that's okay. Here's the thing. I don't tell them all that, but that's my mindset going into it. Knowing that, okay, they may not want it. Maybe they want to be in the job that they're in. Maybe they like that. Maybe they're happy there. Let them be. Just let them be. So when you approach them, you have to approach them in a way that it doesn't matter to you whether they say yes or no. But I'll tell you how you can get around that. Don't approach the opportunity. If they don't think that you are going to try to recruit them, oh, see, I'm losing an earring. I'm just gonna take my earrings off. All of this stuff is getting a little heavy on me. That feels better. I kept pulling on it anyways. When you approach them, don't approach them about the opportunity. Just don't. Don't even bother about opportunity. That's the last thing that you need to be approaching them about. Not one of your family members is going to want to know about your latest adventure, especially if you've done this before. So if you have done direct sales before, this is like the second, third, fifth, 100th time around the bend that you're coming to the family and you're like, let's, you know, here I'm selling this stuff. I mentioned in a previous video, and I'll bring it up again. You know, I sold Tupperware way back when I was 18, I sold Tupperware, right? I mean, I had just had a baby, married, in the military, sold Tupperware. And that's awesome. It's not a bad thing. I went and sold it again whenever I had my second child, but they got burnt out. They're tired of buying Tupperware. So when I started a different direct sales and went into a different area, they're like, yeah, what are you selling now? When you get that, it's going to be harder to approach that warm market. So you really have to not care whether they're going to join or not. Your best efforts are going to be made in the cold market. And we are going to discuss that on a later training. So the best way to go about it, lead with the product. So I mentioned Tupperware, okay? One of my favorite pieces of Tupperware are the modular mates. I don't even know if that's what they're called anymore, but they sealed and you put them in the pantry, and so your flour, they're not gonna have any weevils and all this stuff. So I would show it to them and tell them, you know, isn't this cool? And then supermarkets, if you do have weevils, you can take it back, and as long as it's in this Tupperware, it's in this sealed case, they'll take your flour back even though it's open. And so you kind of like, you know, tell them about the product, and this cool, or, oh, look at this little Lunchable thing I have, or this little soup carrier, or this bowl. Don't you love this bowl? Share the products. So let's say that you are in a beauty, any type of beauty, hair, makeup, whatever, spa, any of that. Show them the products. If you can invest in offering some samples, or you have samples, offer samples. They may not want it, but offer it. Talk to them about it. Like, hey, what do you use for skincare? I just, you know, got this new skincare. I got some samples. Would you like to try it? Don't pressure it. Just introduce the products, but do not go to opportunity when it comes to warm market. That's the last thing you need to do. So let me give you an example too. I'll give you a couple. You know that I'm going to get certified to be a makeup artist. I've mentioned that too. So I go and I get certified. I have a portfolio. I have all these pictures. I have all these people's makeup that I've done. I've done my own, and I've had a professional photographer. I'm putting together this portfolio. But I want to do makeup on someone. I'm not going to go to everybody in my family and be like, okay, you got to hire me for the next job. No, what I'm going to do is go to them and show them portfolio and say, oh my gosh, I'd love your opinion. I'd love your feedback on it. Would you mind if I did your makeup to be put in my portfolio? See what I'm saying? Another way that you could go about it is if a photographer starts with photography, they start doing their own, they make their own company, and they're taking these amazing pictures. They're not going to come to you and say, hey, why don't you become a photographer too? That's not how it works. They're going to say, would you mind referring people to me? Would you mind telling me what you think about these photos? Would you mind, you know, letting me take some photos of you? they're not going to approach it in a way of, hey, everybody, let's all be photographers. That's not how it goes. So why are you doing that with your direct sales? Don't do that. So you can also, like I mentioned, approach the opinion. You know, I want your opinion. I want to know what you think about the business. But you also have to remember, what did I say before? Do not care if they don't want it. Don't care if they're not interested. And don't defend. Oh, this is good. Don't defend. If they say, oh, is that one of those pyramid schemes? You know it's not for them. Say, no, it's not, but clearly you're not interested. Don't go into, well, no, see, a pyramid scheme, no, just don't do that. Don't even go there. Just, okay, no, it's not, but it's clearly not for you. And that goes back to leading with the products again. If you're leading with the products, then they probably aren't even going to know about an opportunity and probably not even going to have that pyramid vibe. So don't approach with opportunity, and also, again, don't defend. And you don't need outside approval. Oh my gosh, this is so huge. You do not need your friends and family to tell you whether or not you like a lipstick. You don't. You do not need your friends and family to tell you whether or not you love the way your skincare works. Do you? Do you still need your mom's approval? If you do, that's for a whole other session and we aren't even going to go there. But if you think about it, just think about it. When you go buy a new vehicle, who buys the vehicle? Who picks it out? You know, if you're married, 9 times out of 10, you're doing it with a spouse, right? But the majority of the time, it's you picking that vehicle out. And even if you're with a spouse, you're getting an input and you're choosing. And when it comes to the end, you're signing on that dotted line. When you buy a house, how many times have you seen people house hunting and they go from house to house to house to house? What are they doing? What are they doing with that realtor? They're checking out places. They're finding what? The place that matches them. The place for them, right? Do they care if their mom, sister, brother, aunt, you know, Sally down the street don't like it? No. Now, in a situation where you're moving, maybe, you know, mom's sad you're moving across town. Who cares? You can still drive and see her. It's the same thing with direct sales. Maybe you're working with your mom and now you're not, and so yeah, your mom takes it a little personal. But reality is, 9 times out of 10, they have no say in what you're doing, nor are they connected in any way. Are they paying your bills? If they're paying your bills, that's another session also. But are they paying your bills? Are they paying your rent? Are they paying your mortgage? Are they paying for your car? No? Why do you care what they think? So do not worry about outside approval. You know whether or not you like your shampoo. You know whether or not you like your hairstylist. I will vouch, if you've ever watched any of my stuff, I love my hairstylist. I will not give up my hairstylist. I will shout to the rooftops for my hairstylist. Love her. I'm not going to change her. I don't care what anybody said. If somebody came to me and said, oh my gosh, Renee did a horrible job on my hair, I'd be like, you're not talking about the same Renee. Because that's Renee wouldn't do that. So you see what you don't need the outside approval. You know what you want. You know what you got. Don't worry about what they think. So I have to share also that if you're in a sharing, I hear this all the time. You need to share, don't sell. Share, don't sell. Do we sell items? Yes. We have products. We sell products. We have, you know, whatever it may be. It could be skincare. It could be health and wellness. It could be, you know, bags. It could be customizable things. It could be plastic, whatever it is. Yes, you're selling something, but you really need to put it in the share mode. Put it as, I'm just sharing what it's doing for me. I'm just sharing what it's doing for others. Don't put it in, I need this hard sell. People know when they're being sold. You know when you're being sold. I'll give you an example, and I know that they're not in this group, so I'll say this. I had 2 instances today that I was like sold hardcore. And one I'm going to put on my Facebook later, but I blacked everything out. One, I get approached by a new friend on Facebook, and she immediately went to, I'm with X, Y, and Z. Can I add you to this group? I need to help you with this. You need help. Okay, first of all, I don't need help. You don't even know me, girl. You just friended me. I just accepted your friend request. Now you want me to be in your group? Now you want me to, like, I need help with My hair? Like, are you trying to say something about my hair? So don't go there. People know when you're being sold. The other instance was I had a girl who mentioned what company they were with, and I was like, oh, that totally intrigues me. I have seen that. I think that's really cool. And then I get this, 3-page thing about, oh, well, we have this and this, and this is $199, and this is this and this. Okay, girl, I did not ask about all that. If I did, I would come straight to you and say, I want to know. I just said that totally intrigues me. You know when you're being sold. What do you do when you get those messages, or what do you do whenever someone's talking to you to your face like that? You know you're being sold and you're totally turned off. One of the companies I'm with right now, I actually had heard about it over a year ago, but I was being sold. They kept cramming the opportunity down my throat. And so I kept saying, I'm not interested, not interested. It took over a year for me to actually go try the products, fall in love with the products, want to sell the products, and then here I am. What happened? I fell in love with the products, not the opportunity. Now, there's the small percentage of people who are looking for an opportunity, but the majority of the time, they have to fall in love with the products first, okay? And here's the real truth about direct sales too. When you're in direct sales, the majority of people, 99%, I'm sure there's some statistic out there, do not stay with their current direct sales, or do not stay with one direct sales. They bounce and bounce and bounce, or they leave. They come, they go. Don't take that personal. They're going to do that until they find their home. They're going to have to find a company that they feel comfortable promoting. They have to find a company that has a good comp plan, that makes them feel good, that they're passionate about. They're going to have to find their home. Don't take it personal if people come and go. That is how this industry is, until they find what fits them. And it has to fit like a glove, like a really nice glove that you had tailor-made to your hand, that kind of glove. So when you are in direct sales and you are bouncing, you may, like I mentioned earlier, you may have been in other direct sales. You're trying to find your home. So when it comes to the reapproach for warm market, is it any different than your original approach? Just a little. Don't even think about opportunity. Still the same. Don't lead with that opportunity, lead with the products. But you have to still lose the mentality. You don't care what they say. And you have to be a little more passive. If you've already done something and you've already approached them, at this point you need to be more passive. You don't want to turn them off completely. They're your friends, they're your family. Don't turn them off completely. Now, one exception to that. If it is your best friend who you'd go get a tattoo with, or your best friend that you would spend a week on the beach with, you can go to that girlfriend and be like, okay, girl, I'm doing this and you're coming with me. Okay, you know those relationships. You can do that to them. You cannot do that to the rest of your friends and family. Tread lightly, especially if you've been in multiple direct sales. Tread lightly. Let them come to you. So, and we're going to get into branding and attraction marketing, so you're going to see how those people come to you, but that's for another session. So you've got to lighten it up. You've got to be really confident. Like I mentioned, posturing yourself. You're confident with what you're doing. You're confident with what you're saying. You know what you have, and you're going to go get it. Confidence is key with any of your network marketing, but especially with your warm market, because maybe your big brother intimidates you. Maybe your dad or your mom intimidate you. Maybe you do still seek their approval deep down inside, even though you don't really want to. And that's going to affect you. But if you go into it confident and you know what you got, you're going to approach it differently. Some people have started direct sales and they leave like they're millionaires in a company, and they stop and they go somewhere else. Or how about those who are CEOs of a company and they leave to do direct sales? I've seen that happen. They're top of the company, they own a company, and they walk away and sell their shares or whatever and jump into direct sales. What do you think their parents said? What do you think their family thought? They probably thought they were insane. I had a friend last week who was like top of her company walk away to join a different direct sales. I mean, making millions, walked away. Do you think that she cares what her friends and family thought? I doubt it. So I heard this quote, And and hey Jen, I see that you came on. I almost called you to tell you this quote, Jen. You can tell the size of a man or woman by the size of the problem that takes them out. So I'm shifting gears to disappointment and the things that we deal with negative in our life, all that negativity that comes with direct sales. So I'm going to shift gears. I'm going to say this quote one more time. Let this sink in. You can tell the size of a man or woman by the size of the problem that takes them out. Wow. If you let things hold you back, that tells everyone how big or small you are. Direct sales is not for the weak. Network marketing is not for the weak. You have to have a backbone, and you have to be prepared to put a shield up and make sure that you let some things just slide. Just let them go. Let them slide off your back, let them go. If you do not have some kind of protection and know that this is going to be difficult, it's not for you. Because we do deal with a lot of negativity. You're going to deal with people who think that this is just stupid, that you should not have ever joined this, that it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever done. You're going to have people who just talk bad about you behind your back. You're going to have people who want to take you out. And I have experienced everything. I don't have the warm market on my side. I have experienced people trying to stab me in the back. I have experienced people trying to steal my people. I have experienced having, I mean, you name it. I've had people, customers come to me, order product, and then go to another person and order product. Someone tell me they're going to be on my team and then go to somebody else and be on their team. I've had that happen a number of times. I've had people be slimy and ugly and nasty and try to do things to hurt me. I have a backbone. Now, it hurts. It does hurt. I've had people try to take me out. I've had people that I'm their biggest competition. And so they set their eyes on destroying me. And the biggest tip that I can give you with that is don't let them. They're going to try and they're going to try and they're going to try. Don't let them. If you let them get in your head, your empire will crumble. Everything you build is going to come tumbling down if you allow anyone, any negative person, to get into your head. Don't let it happen. Show them your size. So the biggest thing is don't take it personal. If somebody tells you no, don't take it personal. This is the hardest thing I can tell you to do. I'm going to be really honest, and I'm always honest with you. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm going to tell you the truth, but I need a drink for this one. I've actually spent time crying, time being angry, time hurting, time thinking of ways to retaliate or have some kind of way to hurt the person who hurt me. I have experienced those things and taken it very personal. When you have a tender heart, direct sales is very hard to go through because sometimes people are just evil to be evil. You have to understand that. Some people are evil just to be evil. Others don't mean to be. Others don't realize they're doing it. Others don't think it matters. So a lot of people do not understand that if they don't join you and they join somebody else, what an upline is, what a team is, how it works. They don't get it. They're just excited that they're doing the same thing you are. You may have talked to them 50 times. You may have offered them half off. You may have done whatever it took. And then they sign up with, it could be your sister, and they sign up with your BFF, or they sign up with their BFF, and you're like, you're my sister. Like, how do you do that? They don't get it, especially if they've never been in direct sales. Don't take it personal. Here's a little secret too. You don't want them on your team. You do not want them on your team. If this person is choosing to go with someone else, you do not want them with you. They didn't choose you. So why do you want to work with someone who didn't choose you? If someone leaves you, customer leaves you, and a customer goes to someone else, first of all, that customer is not going to make someone else rich, okay? They're not going to make someone else successful. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You need to let it go, because reality is you do not want to work with someone who doesn't want to work with you, and you do not want to be with someone that you force to be there. You want somebody willing and who would love to be there, not somebody that you had to drag through the dirt to get there. So a no is absolutely normal in this business. All of y'all know that. No's are normal. You're going to get so many no's, and rejection is a mindset that, you know, your ego kind of pulls you in. And so when you're rejected, it hurts, and it's actually a mindset. You can get rid of that rejection mindset. You can totally lose that. You need to just focus ahead and let go of what's happened in the past. We're going to start fresh. Okay, I'm going to give you tools. We're going to talk about cold market. We're going to talk about branding. We're going to talk about Instagram, Facebook. I'm going to help you build your empire. But I chose this subject to start out with because I want you to see what you may be doing wrong and what you may be doing right when it comes to your warm market. And I really wanted to dig into the disappointment and the hurt that people may have caused you, and realize that you have to let it go in order to move forward. So when you're focusing ahead, you got to let go of what's behind you. You got to let go of those things that have hurt you. I'm going to give you 2 scenarios in which I've had to let go. And then I'm going to go over a couple more things, and I'm going to read some comments. 1, in one of my direct sales companies, I had been talking to this girl for 2 years. We're not talking a couple months, 2 years. Given her samples, helped her out, answered questions. Every time she'd get a little cash, she'd be like, I just can't this time. I really want to do this. I really want to be on your team. I invested a lot of time into this person. 2 years go by, and I see on social media that she is now with this company. So I immediately go to my back office. Like, did she sign up and not tell me? She's not in my back office. So I message her. Hey, I didn't see you in the back office. It's so great that you signed up. Like, what's going on? Oh, I signed up with so-and-so. What? You know, I got upset. I'm upset now. I'm like, I've just invested all this time. What? And she's like, well, so-and-so gave me samples. Wait, hold up. I gave you samples multiple times. I've shown you these products multiple times. I've invested. I just talked to you last week. Last week you told me you were going to be joining in the next week or so. She joined somebody else. Okay, I took that personal. I still use that as a example all the time. Why? Because it hurt. It hurt. It hurt that I had invested the time. It hurt that I had invested money. I mean, I'd given samples that came out of my pocket. I mean, she got at least $100 worth of stuff out of me. You know, I invested all of this time and effort into someone that was in my warm market, that I cherished, that I loved. And instead of letting it go, I didn't. I actually let it get to me. And I got upset, and I got angry, and I didn't want to trust people, and I was so frustrated. It totally tore me down. It took me a while to let it go, realize what I was doing was hurting my business, and move forward. I had a couple plans of attack. Like, I was like, oh, I'm going to hit every single mutual friend. I'm going to do it. I had these mental things that I was preparing. But then I finally realized, is this really what I want in my business? Do I want people to treat me this way? What if it were me? And then it finally dawned on me that I don't want her on my team. I don't want her to work with someone she doesn't want to work with. I don't want her to be with me if she thinks that she's not going to be successful. So I let it go. And that's the best thing to do. I will give you a nice little sweet gesture on that one. She did not do very well. So, you know, it's not always the case though. Sometimes they're very successful, but she did not do very well. But I'm glad I let it go, and she's doing something totally different, and I love it, and I think it's awesome for her. So, good for her. Another situation, I had someone try to take down my empire. And they attacked. I let it get to me. I was in bed. It hurt. I cried. I was upset. I wanted to quit. I was done. It got ugly. And I could have let it hurt me. And I could have let it totally tear my empire down. I chose not to let it do that in the end. It took me a while though. I let it bother me for a while. But the reason I finally said enough was because I realized that I run this show. First off, this is my business. But another really big reason why I stopped letting it happen is because I realized I was their biggest threat. And if I was their biggest threat, I was going to make sure that I stayed that way. So your mentality really has to change. Don't let those disappointments get you down. I'm going to read through a couple comments, and then I'm going to go through I'll pull up our live and answer any questions. I was reading through the comments, the only 14 out of 100 and something people that are on here. When family goes to somebody else that sells the same product, and you know that, you know, you sell this product, but they go to someone else, it goes back to, you don't want them with you. They're not worth your time, and don't take it personal. Disappointment and hurt that someone you've been friends with online and done business with knows that you sell a certain company and signs up with someone else. Same scenario. You know how many of these I read over and over again of y'all like talking about people choosing someone else, spending time and effort and money? Be selective with who you spend your time and money on. Be selective, y'all. This is not this. We're not on the kindergarten playground trying to make friends. Don't do that. You need to be strategic about it. I had a girl come to me this last week who told me, oh, well, I want to do this, but I need one-on-one. Like, I can't do live videos, and I don't learn by phone calls, and I don't learn by browsing the internet. I need you one-on-one. I was very clear with her. First of all, she wanted to join for free. So she's not even, you know, investing anything. Second of all, she's not actually wanting to purchase a whole lot of product. She's not even wanting to use the product. She just wants the opportunity. That's the background. I let her know, I don't do one-on-one. I don't do one-on-one training unless it's with a group of people and we're all doing it. My team is too big to be doing one-on-one training. That is too much time invested. I did not tell her that. I said it nicely, but don't invest time in people just because you think that they may be awesome. Do it the way you know that it works. Send them to the website that they could get training. Put them on the call that could get them training. Put them on the live video. If they want the one-on-one training, is it really someone worth investing? Think about it before you do it. Don't overextend yourself. So that's the same thing. If they're not making you money, if they're not part of your team, if they're not really going to work for it, then why are you investing so much? I'll give you a reason why. You're desperate. People taste, smell, feel desperation. They know it. They know when you're desperate. So when you put off that vibe, I've got to have this, I've got to have this, you need to be my customer. Like, I need 10 customers. I'm going to get this promo. I'm $300 away from Mexico. Who will order for me? That's desperation. Nobody wants it. I see it all the time. We get excited. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm so close to my goal. I need this. There's a way that you can approach it, and there's a way that you cannot. And so when you start to be very desperate, I saw one girl, I used the Mexico thing because I saw one girl, she was like trying to qualify for Mexico. And every 5 minutes I saw another post, and I'm like, girl, you cannot do that. But if that's the way her company trains her, that's what she thinks she needs to do. Don't do it. Let's see. Where was another one I was thinking of reading? Okay, if somebody constantly tells you that they're going to order from you, they're going to join you, and then they wind up joining with a competitor, or someone helps them purchase and work with a competitor, then you really do not want to work with them. First of all, they wanted freebies. Second of all, they weren't worth your time if they're trying to choose someone else. So again, choose your tribe wisely. So let me reset this so I can go and see what is going on the live, and I'll answer any questions that y'all have. And I have one last thing that I'll close out with. So let me open this and see our live, and I'll answer any questions. So if y'all have questions, you know, Facebook has a little bit of a delay. Go ahead and get those in there, and I'm going to read y'all's comments now. And answer any questions that you may have about, you know, just overcoming disappointment and dealing with, you know, things that happen in our... I'm really not seeing a whole lot of comments. Okay. I guess there's not any questions. Let's see what happens when I open this. Okay, so I don't see any questions on here, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out and move forward. One last thing I want to mention when it comes to your networking and how I said, you know, you've got your warm market and going into your cold market. There is a book, Go for No. It's like a day read. It's super easy to read. You can get it as an audiobook. You can get it as a, you know, actual book and read it. I have both. I have audio and I have the actual book. It's super easy to read. Go for No. Read it. It is amazing. It will help you get past your rejection. It'll help you get past the mentality of no being a bad thing. Go for No. You've got to read that book. Also, when you go for no, it really helps you just conquer the rejection, period. You don't like to be rejected. You don't like your family, friends, cold mark. You don't like anybody telling you no. I saw it's another network marketer giving an example about you start working in an ice cream shop and you're the employee and they say, I want you to go stand outside the front and I want you to offer everybody who passes an ice cream cone. Vanilla ice cream cone. That's it, y'all. So she goes out there and she starts handing out these ice cream cones. Hey, would you like an ice cream cone? No, thanks. I'm in a hurry. Would you like an ice cream cone? Sure. Would you like an ice cream cone? Sure. Would you like an ice cream? Doesn't have sprinkles? What do you mean doesn't have sprinkles? I don't want an ice cream cone without sprinkles. So you go through these, like, you're handing out these ice cream cones. Some people take them. Some people are like, I'm too busy. I cannot believe you even asked me. Do you see that I'm busy? Like, my toilet just erupted. Like, I need to get somewhere. Don't ask me if I want an ice cream cone. So whatever it is, she just goes on. Does it bother her? No. Doesn't bother her. They were telling her no all day. Didn't bother her. That's the mentality we need to have. Some people want sprinkles on their ice cream cone. Some people's toilet exploded. They said no. That just means it's not their time. That doesn't mean that they're not going to come back to that ice cream shop and get ice cream at another date and actually add sprinkles. I mean, they didn't want what you were offering them at that very moment. That does not mean that they don't want what you're offering later on down the road. Great analogy. So go for no. There's actually a website. Cesar Rodriguez does it. 100 No's Challenge. If y'all have never done the 100 No's Challenge, I've done it before. Love it. It's an amazing way for you to boost your business. So you read the Go for No book and then do the 100 No's Challenge. So you're going for no. Instead of going for yes, you're going for no. So you're going to go to your friend and you're going to say, look, I am in this contest. I need 100 no's. I know you're going to tell me no. You've told me no for 2 years, but I have to show you this in order to get your no. So when you're going for the no, you're not just having them say, okay, that's easy, no. No, you actually have to present them. Do you have a video that your company does? Do you have a website that the people have to go look at? Whatever it is, send them to that website, send them to that video, present them if you have a presentation you do in front of them, whatever it is. Show them what you're wanting to show them and let them tell you no. You put them on a list. Continue to do that for 100 no's. You would be surprised how stinking difficult this is to do. You have no idea how hard it is to get 100 no's because people start telling you yes, especially your chicken list, those that you did not want to approach, and now it's easy to approach because you're asking them to tell you no, and then all of a sudden they're telling you yes and you're like, what? So it is very hard to get a no because you are getting more yeses. Go check that out, 100noschallenge.com. There's actually a section I thought was pretty cool. There's like 16 people that you have to approach that make 6 figures. that could be hard if you don't know a whole lot of people who make six figures, and you've got to approach them and you have to get a no. And you have to go through the same thing. So it's a lot of fun. It's a really good challenge, but it does help you get in front of people. It does help you get past that chicken list. So I'm going to leave you with this. Sometimes, I wrote this down, so I'm just going to kind of read what I wrote earlier. Sometimes we get so angry because the people around us don't support us. People love us, that are closest to us, and we want their approval. We want them to support us. If they do not support you, if they do not see your vision, accept it. Accept it for what it is. They want the ice cream cone with sprinkles. They don't want just the vanilla ice cream cone. Just let it go. Sometimes they're super jealous and super envious. They want to be where you are. Sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes they're just too close to you to actually see your greatness, to actually see how awesome you really are. Trust me, I have a lot of family members who don't realize how awesome I am. So, sometimes they just don't see that greatness. Don't let it stop you. Don't let the non-support of your friends and your family, your closest friends, or even haters bring you down. Don't let them get into your head. Don't let them stop you from being amazing. If you do, it's on you. Keep getting back up. Don't let the enemy or people who don't know you win. People are going to break you. They're going to try. They're going to do it over and over again. People who want you to fail are going to just keep attacking. You've got to have faith, and you've got to be unstoppable. You have to believe in yourself. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next time.